Hello, this is the last video of this series of 12 videos about each sign of the zodiac in 2019. You were most probably born under the sign Pisces if you're watching this video, or perhaps you have your rising sign in Pisces, which is going to interest you as well. So Pisces is the last zodiac sign. It is what we call a water sign, water mutable, so changeable. Now, what's happened in Pisces has been going on for quite some years now. It is the transit of Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces since 2012, February 2012. And the transit is going to last until 2026. So Neptune will remain 14 years in Pisces. It's a long time. It's a long time, it's an interesting time as well, because Neptune represents Pisces. It is, as we say in astrology, the ruler of Pisces. So in that sign it is very strong. Its influence is very strong. And because it is your planet, if you were born under this sign, Neptune is your planet, or one of your planets. If you have a different rising sign, the planet representing this rising sign is the second planet, your second planet. But if you were born with a Pisces rising, Neptune is also your planet. So that means that your planet is transiting its sign of rulership. So it's come back home, more or less. It's come back home in 2012 in February. And it's going to stay home for about 14 years. Now, Neptune represents our dreams. We all need to dream, right? But dreams are better lived, I would say, if they can be realized concretely. And for some years, I think in the past, since the beginning of that transit, it hasn't been the case. Like, you may have had some very great ideas and dreams that you want to realize, hopes, and so on, but it may have been quite difficult to achieve what you were aiming at. Now, in 2019, if you haven't been able to get to that point where you can say, I have succeeded in 2018, then you may have another chance next year. 2019 is an important year because Saturn has been transiting in Capricorn since 2017. 2017, that was in December. And I can say also the day in December, it was the 21st of December. On the 21st of December 2017, Saturn entered in Capricorn. And you know what? Capricorn is Saturn's sign. So once again, transiting in Capricorn, Saturn has come back home. So it's important for the natives of Capricorn, of course, but it's also very important for the natives of Pisces. Why? because Capricorn is an earth sign. And as you know, most probably, Pisces is a water sign. And water and earth mix quite well together. They can even be used to build or to create objects, pottery, and so on. So the link between Capricorn and Pisces has a positive effect on the influence of Neptune, representing your dreams. So what you dream to achieve, what is your ideal situation? What would be your ideal situation if you were able to reach that point, that objective, and succeed? Well, whatever the answer is, you can be assured or rest assured that Saturn is going to help you in 2019, because it has been transiting in Capricorn since late 2017. So for the whole of 2018, it's been in Capricorn. And as you can see here, on the 1st of January 2019, Saturn will be at 11 degrees in Capricorn, so about here. And then it's going to move forward, of course, and it's going to reach 20 degrees in Capricorn, Saturn. 20 degrees in Capricorn, that will be reached on the 30th of April. And that's very interesting, because we see here that Neptune is at 14 degrees in Pisces, and it's going to reach in June, it's going to reach 18 degrees 46, almost 19 degrees. That means that there will be a beneficial link or aspect, as we say in astrology, between Saturn and Neptune. Saturn represents reality, and Neptune represents dreams. So does that mean that dreams can become reality for some lucky Pisceans in 2019? Yes, most probably. But the influence of Saturn is going to have another effect. The effect is that, I would say, in general, Pisces people live more in the imaginary. They have a lot of imagination, intuition, and so on, but they may lack realism, objectivity, which is very useful. You know, to succeed in life, you have to be quite realistic and objective. You can also be an artist and be completely out of this world and still be appreciated and maybe succeed in this world, even though you are not aiming at success, but success is for you because you're somehow a genius, like, you know. But that's not the case for everyone. So let's say that Neptune has enhanced greatly your need to dream and to realize your dream. What is your dream? What do you want to achieve in life in 2019? Because you may not reach that goal in 2019. Now, I'll tell you what later. I'll tell you why later on. But it seems that 2019 is still a year during which you'll have to work hard and to prove to yourself and to others as well that you can do it and that you will do it, that you'll reach that top that you're aiming at. It may be a bit difficult, but you will have some help from Saturn this year for sure, because because it's going to create a sextile aspect with Neptune. It's going to link reality and dream. And if you feel much more, and if you can prove to yourself that maybe you can achieve your dream, you can realize your dream, you can make your dream come true, as we say, then you will not have been dreaming for nothing. Instead, you have been dreaming for success that will be probably something that you will savor in 2020. Not yet. There will be moments in 2019 when you are very close to getting there, achieving your goal, reaching your goal, achieving your objective, and being very proud, of course, of yourself, which is very good. But maybe in 2019, you will probably at times be too optimistic for your own good. You'll have to beware of that, because Jupiter is transiting in Sagittarius. Jupiter is here at the moment in Sagittarius. It's been in Sagittarius since November 8, 2018, and it's going to remain in Sagittarius until the 3rd of December next year. Or next year, I mean, today is December 2018, that's what I'm talking about, next year. But if you're watching this video in 2019, next year is not going to be 2020, so it is 2019 I'm talking about. Now, Jupiter will remain in Sagittarius until the 3rd of December 2019, and then it's going to transit in Capricorn in 2020, and that's when it is going to be very, very interesting and positive for Pisces-born people. Now, I'm not talking about 2020, I'm talking about 2019, but you should consider that 2019 is a year during which you are going to prepare for 2020, because I believe that 2020 can be your year. Your year, because the conjunction that will be created between Saturn and Jupiter, and not only Saturn and Jupiter, is something very unique that is not going to happen again for more than 2,000 or 3,000 years. The third planet I'm talking about is Pluto. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. Now, since then, Pluto has enhanced your ability, your capacity to regenerate. Very good. And to hold on. Whatever may have happened to you, Pluto has helped you heal or get up again and go forward again when you'd been stopped by any sort of event or situation. So Pluto is a very, very interesting planet and very friendly to Pisces in general. And because Saturn is getting very close to Pluto, there will not be an exact conjunction in 2019. We'll have to wait until 2020 for that to happen. But the good thing is that in 2020, Jupiter will meet with those two, Saturn and Pluto, and Jupiter are going to conjunct in Capricorn, and that's when you will most probably achieve and reach the goal that you have set for yourself. Maybe not yet, but perhaps in 2019 will you have a goal set to reach. And if it's so, then you can spend the whole year working on the project and making sure that you're not forgetting anything, and also making sure that you're not going too fast into dealing with the subject or the project and so on, because you will probably have to deal with unexpected situations in 2019. And these are represented by the transit of Jupiter in Sagittarius. You know why? because Jupiter in Sagittarius is also at home. Because Sagittarius is represented by Jupiter, so Jupiter is Sagittarius' planet. The ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. And Jupiter is the biggest planet of the solar system. It's about 1,300 times the size of the Earth. It's a very powerful planet as far as radiation, and its influence is very, very strong. So when it is in Sagittarius, it's even stronger because it's at home. It's just the same as Saturn in Capricorn. It's just the same as Neptune in Pisces. It means that in 2019, three important planets, three major planets, will transit their own sign. And 2019 is going to be a very important year. Of course, you'll have to be cautious, to be aware of the influence of Jupiter. Why? Because Jupiter transits Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, and you belong to a water sign, which means that fire and water are not the best mixing together. Have you tried? Doesn't work well, does it? So it means that Jupiter is going to enhance somehow the fire sign in you, which you are not. You don't belong to a fire sign. So it means that it may make your water element start to boil. So it's going to be very, very hot, very warm, very inciting as well. And you will most probably become very enthusiastic, very optimistic, very trustful as well in other people, in some activity in which you want to get involved. In anything, you'll have to be aware that Jupiter will make you a bit too much of what you want to be or what you are in general. So it's going to enhance also your ego, and your ego will most probably influence you to do things that you regret, maybe. So don't be too trustful in yourself and in others as well. Don't be too optimistic in the fact that you may have a goal to reach in 2019, perhaps. You may have something important to deal with in 2019. And what you have to deal with may need you to do it in a very official, administrative or legal way. So be aware that if you get involved in anything that has an official side to it or a legal side to it, you may find that it's not so easy, and maybe the outcome is not going to be as good as what you may expect. On the contrary, it may become a source of problems. So just take it easy. That's what Saturn is telling you, actually, because Saturn represents the brake pedal in a car. It is the planet that tells us not to do what we want to do because it's not the right time to do it yet. So it means you have to wait a little while, a little longer. And while Jupiter transits in Sagittarius, just hold your horses. Don't go too fast, too far, too high, because if you fall after that, it's going to be hurtful. Therefore, what I suggest is that in 2019, for the whole of the year, until the 3rd of December, on the 3rd of December 2019, Jupiter changes sign to transit in Capricorn. That's why I said earlier that 2020 is most probably going to be a very, very important, nice, positive year for you. Well, then you may say, then it doesn't really matter if this year I don't do everything right. And if I have some problems with the legal side of things, or the official side, or the administrative side of things, or even the moral side of things, it's not so bad, because in 2020, when Jupiter joins with Saturn and Pluto, everything is going to be fine again. Right? Perhaps not. It all depends how far you go, influenced by the powerful Jupiter. You can go very far, especially because Neptune represents what we need to believe, and beliefs can really lead people to do things that they can regret afterwards. So don't believe too much in yourself, in what you may be invited to do or to get involved in. Just take it easy and do things morally and officially in the best possible manner, and taking your time. That's very important, to take your time, because time is represented by Saturn, and time is on your side if you decide so. If you think that you won't have time because of this or that, or whatever the reason may be, then you're going to press on the accelerator and you're going to push forward in order to reach the goal that you want to reach, or that someone else wants you to reach. For some reason, it could be at work, could be in family, could be for any reason. But hold on and do things in a very organized way in 2019, and then in 2020 you will be rewarded for your effort. And I will be talking about 2020 at the end of 2019, just like I'm doing it now in 2018 for 2019. So if you want to know about it before that, just visit my website and request a forecast, and I will be happy to deliver the information for you in accordance with your birth chart, of course, and not just with your sign or your rising sign or ascendant, of course. I will take in consideration everything that is in your chart. Anyway, now what else? Well, Uranus, there it is. Right now it's in Aries, back in Aries. Back in Aries since November 8th this year, 2018. And it's going to go back into Taurus, where it spent 6 months, from May 15, 2018 until November 8th. Uranus was in Taurus, but short time. For a planet that takes 84 years to travel around the zodiac, 6 months staying in one sign is a very short time. So, of course, it's going to go back in there. And it's going to go back in there from the 6th of March, 2019. And then it's going to remain in there for about 7 years. So it's a very long time. And it's a good long time for you, because this is an earth sign, just like Capricorn. Meaning that when Uranus has settled down in Taurus, it will be creating a trine aspect with Saturn and Pluto, because they are here in Capricorn. And of course it will be creating also a sextile aspect with Neptune and with your sign or your rising sign. What does Uranus represent? Changes, drastic changes. Changes that are so important that they will definitely change your life forever. I don't know in what area it will have the strongest effect, because I don't have your chart to tell you that. But if you were born with Pisces rising, you must probably have house 2 in Aries and house 3 in Taurus. So it's wherever the way you have been using or you have been used to express yourself, communicate with other people, that's where things are going to change greatly. And it's the change in the way you express and communicate with other people that is going to change your life. But in a good way, because Uranus is going to form a very beneficial aspect with Neptune. And that's going to last until the end of the transit of Uranus in Taurus, because, as we've seen earlier, Neptune will remain in Pisces until 2026, and for Uranus it will be about 2025 perhaps. I haven't checked it for sure, but it's about that. So while Saturn is in Taurus, Neptune will remain in Pisces, and Pluto will remain in Capricorn, because Pluto is going to remain in Capricorn for 15 years, and it's been in Capricorn since 2008, but it's settled down in Capricorn in 2009, and 2009 plus 15 is 2024. So 2024, 2025, that's the time when Pluto is going to change sign. That's the time when Uranus is going to change sign, and that's the time when just about Neptune is going to change sign too. So it means that for the next 7 years, those 3 planets, we're not talking about Saturn because Saturn is much faster and Neptune even more, but those 3 planets, they are major planets. These represent regeneration, rebirth. This is your dream, and this is you. Neptune is you. It is your planet. So it represents your vital energy and what you can do with it. And Uranus represents your ability to change and to adapt to changes, your ability to be original and spontaneous and quick in reacting and moving around and making sure that you are that all opportunities that come your way are of course used as quickly as possible. So it's going to really make you a very different Pisces than what you have perhaps been since you were born. It's going to change you, but it's not going to change you to force you to change. It's just natural. It's a natural change that will occur within yourself. It's like you are regenerating. It's like you are being reborn again, and being born again into someone that is more yourself than perhaps you have ever been before. So it's a very important experience, of course, and a very uplifting experience. Now, that experience is going to be very important, of course, in 2020, as we've seen earlier, because Jupiter will transit in Capricorn then, and it will create a conjunction with Saturn and Pluto, a trine with the sign where Uranus will be transiting, and a sextile with your planet in Pisces, and with the Sun that you have in Pisces if you were born under that sign, or the ascendant or rising sign that you have in Pisces. And then Jupiter will transit for 1 year in Aquarius. Now, in Aquarius, it is the sign that precedes Pisces. So that's 2020, that's 2021, and that's 2022. So 2022 is going to be a very, very interesting and important year for you as well. It's a year during which evolution, progress, success may strike, because Jupiter will have an influence, a positive influence on Neptune, of course, on the Sun in your chart if you were born under that sign, or your ascendant. Then there will be also beneficial influence with Saturn. Not Saturn, Saturn won't be there anymore. Pluto will still be there, and Uranus will also still be in Taurus. Then Saturn will be somewhere around in Aquarius by then. So you're up for a number of years of upgrading, if I can say, uplifting, and you are going to progress for sure. And what you are going to get from the influences of those planets will depend, of course, on what you are going to do. If you don't do anything and just sit around waiting for things to happen, maybe nothing much will happen. But I'm pretty sure that these planets, the influences of those planets, will probably invite you to get up and go for and move forward and do things, act and react in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So Pisces are considered, when I learned astrology, I was reading that Pisces was a very passive sign, more in contemplation than in action. I don't believe that, because I believe that there are fish and fish. You have the little fish that is very nice, and you have the shark, which is not very nice. So in this sign, in people born under the sign Pisces, you have these people that are sharks and the others that are gentle fish. So that is the difference between Pisces and Pisces, but all Pisces born people and people born with Pisces in ascendant or rising sign, well, they're all going to be helped and favored by these planetary influences for a number of years, which is, well, just about 7 years, which is, enough time to prove that you can do it and to achieve your goals in a very definite and perhaps and I don't know what to say anymore. This is crazy, but this is very good for you. So take it easy in 2019, as I said earlier. Don't spoil it. You could, if you don't do things right, you may be in trouble in 2019, and that would spoil the fun of what you would be able to get in 2020, and then for the following years until Jupiter transits in Taurus, and that's going to be also a very important year for you, and that's 2020, 23, 22, 23, 24. There we are. Now, Mars. I want to talk about Mars because when Mars transits into your sign, you are more an Aries than a Pisces. But Mars is not going to transit in your sign in 2019 at all. It's going to transit in your sign. It is right now. Today is the 12th of December 2018, and Mars transits in Pisces in your sign, and it will be so until the 31st of December. So on the 1st of January, you can see here that Mars will begin its transit in Aries, and then at the end of the year it's going to be transiting in Scorpio, toward the end of Scorpio. So it's only in 2020 that Mars will transit in your sign, which is good. Which is good, because if you had the transit of Mars right now, for example, and since the 15th of November, because it's on the 15th of November 2018 that Mars entered into that sign, your sign. So the transit is going to last until the end of this year, the 31st of December. Now, because Mars transits here, it is creating a difficult aspect with Jupiter, and that's creating tension. So you may be feeling that tension right now. And so you have to be aware that during that time and until 31st of December, you'll be under pressure and you will have a tendency to act and react much too quickly and perhaps in an aggressive manner. Combativity is nice. Of course, we all need to be combative in order to impose ourselves to the world and to whatever we want to do. But too much is too much. So take it easy until the end of this year, because otherwise you could get in trouble, and then those trouble will carry on and become a source of problems until perhaps the end of the transit of Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is quite a long time to be in trouble, and that would be until the 3rd of December 2019. So take it easy, please. And then there is Venus. Venus will transit your sign between this March 27 and April 21. Now, during that time, Venus is going to bring you a bit of pleasure and joy, more luck as well. Venus is the planet of love, so it's going to make you more lovable, which is nice, of course. And I usually use the time during which Venus transits my sign. I was born under the sign Gemini. So when Venus transits Gemini, I'm very aware of that, and I do things that will not work otherwise without that luck factor. So luck is derived from a better energy, and because my vibration gets better during the transit of Venus in Gemini, because your vibration will get better during the transit of Venus in Pisces, then you should use a period of time which is not very long. It lasts for about 3 weeks. But you should use that period of time to do things, to request maybe privileges or anything that you are not used to get easily otherwise. Like you want to ask a favor to someone, and you know that someone is not very keen on doing favors, so you may be, hesitating. Now, when Venus transits in your sign, so you remember the dates that I've just given you, then you can go and see that person and ask for that favor. And I'm pretty sure it's going to work much easier. And I think that person will have a better feeling about you, which is always good to have, and which can help you as well. And luck is always good as well to trigger perhaps a win at the casino or lottery or lotto, whatever. Try. It doesn't cost much, as we say, and it can, you can win big. You never know. Try. I do try it when Venus transits my sign, and I'm never deceived, actually. I'm never disappointed. I get quite lucky when Venus transits in Gemini. So it may be the same when Venus transits in Pisces. Yes, try it. That's it. That's it for now. Thank you very much for your attention and for your interest in my work. Now, as I said earlier, if you want to contact me and request a complete forecast for 2019, 2020, 2021, if you're interested in that forecast, which may help you and shed some light on what you what situation you are now and what situation you want to be in and what project you may have and so on and so forth, then don't hesitate. Visit my website and you will find all the information there to request and order the complete and personal forecast that I will do for you with great pleasure. Thank you. Have a nice end of 2018. Of course, a beautiful 2019, sorry, 2019 first, right? And that's a year during which you should take it